Hello, I'm your host Billy and welcome back to PC of the Week. Today we look at a mini ITX build for an HTPC which I am strongly recommend getting. Welcome back and let's get started. Hello guys, welcome back to PC of the Week, and this week we look at a computer build which I'm strongly recommend getting. I know it's a strange one, but it is mini ITX build which like I said, I'm probably gonna get eventually, and I was going to do a mainstream computer build gaming OP for the first week, but this was really on my mind, so I just decided to do this for the second week. First PC build, but next week we're gonna just do the most mainstream gaming PC for, you know, $800 to $1,000. But anyways, this week we look at a small computer worth about $300 to $400 depending on what you get. So let's get started with the first part, and here's all the parts that you see. So the total price of this computer is $366, and what this computer can do, it can run an HTPC, means home theater PC, and what this computer could probably do is maybe run some low-end games, obviously run movies, Netflix, internet browse, and do everything you pretty much wanted to do without $366 is like nothing. But let's take a look here, and we have the first CPU. The CPU in this build is an Intel Core i3 6100. I was thinking of getting the i3 7100, which there is almost no difference. The 7100 is like 5% faster. Literally, they're exactly the same socket type. They're literally exact same everything. Even like they're literally the exact same thing. So I don't know. There's no difference, and I think they're pretty much the same price. So one's KB Lake and one's Sky Lake. So the reason why I didn't get the 7100, which is KB Lake, is because on these motherboards you would have to update the BIOS things. So I'm not gonna like go through that and all that stuff, but I'm just getting the 6100 just to be safe and just to make it easy. So anyways, if we take a closer look here, there's the box. It's a normal CPU with integrated graphics. I think it's integrated graphics 530. Yep, integrate 530. You can put 64 gigs of RAM if you use this. I don't know why you would need that. Like, that's pretty insane for an i3, don't you think? The thermal TDP means thermal design power, which means pretty much means like how much like heat it gives off. So like 51 watts, that's like nothing compared to like stronger CPUs. Like i7s are like 130. So the CPU won't get hot in this build, and that's pretty much it for that CPU. And let's take a look at all the parts before we go into before we look in depth. We have a Cooler Master DP6, which is a low profile CPU cooler for this build. We have an ASRock H110M ITX Mini OGA 1151, which fits this CPU into that motherboard. So since we have Skylake, you need a DDR4 memory stick. So I decided to get an 8 gig. You can get a 4 gig for an HTPC, but I just wanted to be safe and got the 8 gig. It's DDR4 at 2400 memory. And if I look here, the RAM is faster than it can operate, but it doesn't really matter with the speed of the things. Just make sure that your RAM can run on your motherboard. Most times it can. And I got a Fractal Design Define Nano S mini ITX desktop case. I'm still thinking about this case because it's $65, and like there's other cases I think would be smaller and maybe better, but I'm not really sure. So I'm just thinking it's most likely that case. And our power supply is a EVGA 500 watt 80 bronze certified, which is perfect for this build. It's only like 40 to 50 bucks. So there's the computer and the total price. And I have storage which is a WD Scorpio Black 160 gig. It's like a really small hard drive, so this would fit in this so perfectly. It would be the most perfect thing in this computer, but that would fit so good. And it's only 160 gigs because I'm not really going to download anything. I'm having this computer, I would have this computer in my room for YouTube videos, probably 4K, since I have a 4K TV. And yeah, so choosing a video card, graphics card, I think I might eventually put a GTX 1050 in here, but I don't think it's necessary at the moment for videos, honestly. I think the i3 can handle up to 4K resolution, plus the motherboard can handle that. So I'm gonna see how the CPU handles video at first, and if I do need the upgrade, I would just put the 1050 in, and that would help the CPU process 1080p and 4K videos when I watch it. So anyways, like I said, the total price of this is around $366. So if you had another $100, that's $466 for a computer. You could buy this computer for gaming if you got the GTX 1050, maybe Ti. So you're looking around like $400, and you're looking around like $500 for a computer that can like game on like a lot of stuff. And you don't even have to get like, I don't even know, but only $500, and you can game on everything. You can play everything. So you can literally take this exact build, maybe upgrade the CPU a little bit, I don't know, if you want, get that graphics card, have that 1050 Ti, and just destroy all games. And that's how easy it is to put together a PC on PC of the Week. Anyways, like I said, $360 for like a computer that will do simple internet browsing, and usually like this is just amazing. Like, this is actually awesome. So let's take a closer look at the parts themselves. We already looked at the Intel Core i3 6100, which is a great CPU. So moving on to the Cooler Master DP6, I just looked at this because it was cheap and it was a random, and it's better than the Intel stock cooler, so why not? And I'll probably get this eventually, or I'll probably get this with it. And it's not much to it. It's cheap and it's good. So the ASRock H110M ITX motherboard. If we go to Newegg and we look at this motherboard, we can go to the pictures, click on the pictures. It has 2 RAM slots with, let's look at the specs anyways in a minute. Let's see. It has DDR4 memory standard, DDR4 RAM. The maximum memory supported is 32 gigs, so you can have 2 16 gig sticks in here. Yeah. And then has 1 PCI Express for your graphics card. It has audio. It has like 1 HDMI, 1 DVI-D port, 4 USB 3.0s, which is good, and 2 2.0s, which is a lot of USBs. What else does it have that is good? It's just, like I said before, it supports up to 4K resolution with your CPU if that happens, and it has 288 RAM. That's the slot for the RAM right here. So make sure that when you buy a computer, make sure that's matching. And my CPU matches with that LGA 1151, and it's a pretty good CPU overall. This is a very, very small motherboard, obviously, since it's ITX. And if we zoom in, can we zoom in or not? I guess not. But anyways, look at this motherboard. It is really nice. It just has nothing on it. Literally, if you think about it, I'm gonna keep going, but I'll get to the case in a minute. But moving on to the RAM, and RAM is pretty much easy. You can pretty much get any RAM at all, unless you're looking for speed, but you can pretty much match. The only thing you have to look for RAM is, the most important things is make sure that it fits with the size, and make sure you get 4 gigs, 8 gigs, 16 gigs, whatever you want I would say 8 gigs for everything, 4 gigs for lower, 16 gigs maybe for some video editing, or even 32 gigs, but that's really high. And simple RAM. And a little worrisome of some stuff is if you have high profile RAM, it can mess up with your CPU cooler, which doesn't usually happen, but you kind of have to look for that. But anyways, there's not much about RAM. RAM is boring. RAM is cheap. It's fine. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter what you get, literally. Just get a piece of RAM, put it in your computer, and be done with it. Moving on to the case is the Fractal Defiant Nano S Mini ITX desktop case. This has support for AIOs. This has support for fans, like 2 in the front, 1 in the back. This has support for literally anything you want. A radiator, literally anything for water cooling. It is amazing. It is in a good, amazing case, and it is small. If we look at the inside, literally all we're gonna have is on the left corner here. I don't know if I can zoom in more. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. But on the left top, you're gonna have the motherboard. You're gonna have the CPU and the CPU cooler, and that's it. You're gonna have you won't be able to see the hard drive because the hard drive is small. It's pretty much like this small, like this pink charger. I have it in the other thing, but I don't feel like getting it. I swear to God, it's like this small, and it's gonna be taped on the back thing. So you're literally, and then there's gonna be no graphics card first of all. So there's literally going to be nothing in this computer. Although cords are gonna be on the back side of it, so you won't be able to see that. So all you're gonna see is the motherboard, the power supply at the bottom, then the motherboard, and like the small heatsink, and that's it. And it's gonna be an amazing small computer. It looks weak, but it has some power to it. But it's in a awesome case. It has a side window, guys. A freaking side window. It has buttons, and it got those USB 3.0s. Anyways, it's a very simple case. It's only $70, and it's mini ITX. Like I said before, it has water cooling support up to 240 millimeters, radiators on top, as a dust filter on the front and on the bottom, and it has lots of water cooling support and vertical HDD and SSD mounting plates on the back. So yeah, that's amazing. So you can have everything hidden, literally. So that's it. That's pretty much it with this case. The case is so easy to build in, probably, and it's just gonna be a great thing all the time. And I can't wait to put it next to my TV up in my room. Next, we have the EVGA 500 watt 80 plus certified bronze power supply, and Ian has this same power supply. And it's non-modular, but it doesn't matter really because these cables are thin, and like you can hide these behind the motherboard or the case good. So I'm not too worried about this power supply. It's gonna be good anyways. But that's pretty much it. 500 watts. You gotta make sure your wattage is good for your computer. This is probably overkill for the computer because literally this is probably the most efficient computer I've ever even seen, because it has Skylake, which is extremely efficient, as you've seen at like 65 TDP, which is extremely low. That's freaking crazy. And it has no graphics card at the moment, but even if I did give the graphics card, it takes 75 watts to the motherboard, so there's no external power to it. So that is amazing. And then so literally all that's going on the motherboard is the hard drive power and the read, or no, just the read on the motherboard, and it goes to the power supply, the hard drive. But that hard drive is probably not powerful at all, so that's gonna have no effect to it. The Skylake is gonna have like no effect to it, and then the graphics card might, when I get it, it might be like, pushing it, but barely. So there's literally nothing that's pushing this thing at all. So probably the most efficient thing ever. And there you guys have it. I will probably save. I'm gonna copy this link down in the description below, so if you guys want to mess with it, and if you guys want to get this computer, because why not? It's only $366 plus $100 if you want to get into that gaming, plus other stuff if you want. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed PC of the week, and stay tuned for the next one. And if I do a build of this one this season, I will make a video and post it here of me putting it together, I guess. So guys, once again, PC of the week, how about that? I can't wait for the future ones. Stay tuned. Building out.
Hey, how you doing? So you like that video? That's great. You should probably leave a like and a comment to let us know. Probably share it with your friends too, and hit that subscribe button. Make us feel good about ourselves. Alright, thank you.